every day we're more exhausted. We haven't slept in years. They hit me in the nuts so bad, my eyes filled up with tears.
Yes, we like to fake our best to go off the grid. But the truth is we are softies and we truly love our kids.
So join us every Thursday night to laugh at all our pain. Leaving in the Parents Lounge, the cure, stay sane.
So bad. It's so bad. It makes me laugh so hard. Welcome to another episode of The Parents Lounge.
Hello.
Jamie Kaler, Jason Gowan, Jeff Lewis is running late. We're running late. We're 8 minutes late. I was pulling a splinter out of my 10-year-old's finger where she was screaming and needed tweezers, and I was pulling that out. And I thought I was the one running late, but unfortunately, Jason got pulled over on his way home from a comedy show tonight because he had one headlight out.
I had one headlight out, and I didn't do anything wrong. I hadn't broken any laws, just had a headlight out.
Yes, I don't know if you know how wrong works, but a headlight out is wrong. So you were doing something wrong.
But I was negligent, so therefore I am okay. I did not intentionally break a law. What?
Was it a fix-it ticket?
No, he just let me go.
Oh. Did you pull your shirt down and show your cleavage a little bit?
I was topless when he pulled me over.
Yeah. But very smart, by the way. Let's all talk about getting pulled over by the police. First and foremost, I'm usually bottomless. Like, as they're pulling me over, I slide my pants all the way down, so I have no bottom on whatsoever. And
Does that help you on the 101?
feels great because the leather on the seat just touching your skin, it feels like candy. It's so great.
Oh, I like it. I apologize that the opening was not changed from 2 weeks ago.
P.S. Andy Hendrickson not
here. He's not going to be here tonight. Do you like?
By the way, if you're in Arkansas this weekend, you should go see Andy. He's really funny, and he's an Arkansas.
Very funny guy. I think he's going to come and do my club here.
He's the best, man. He's really a great comic.
Narcolepsy
is here. Is that narcolepsy? I love it. We got some people in already. It's super fun. Yeah, it's so funny. Every time we go to do this, it's like a train wreck. It's like we're crashing into the station, and then the show starts, and we're like, should we cancel? My kid's doing the thing, and you're like, my kid, and then Lewis isn't even here yet. But that's the game of parenting. Like, this is what we do.
think this is the most honest show about parenting ever.
Yeah, we're dealing with an 11-year-old who's having some outbursts and some. I feel bad for her. She's,
Anna 11.
She's 11, and Claire just turned 10, and it's a tricky time in a kid's life, and they're a handful. And so my wife and I are, we're not fighting over it, but we are trying to, when your kid's having problems, a lot of times parents will be like, have very different ideas on how to attack it. And it's because we both are very opinionated about what we think works. And I got to tell you, I mean, I don't know. I'd be interested to hear what other people say about their kids. But when Hannah was really little and we would put her in the corner, she would be bad. We'd put her in the corner for like 20 minutes and she'd turn and she'd scowl at us and just scowl. And we'd put her in the corner and she'd be like this. And then after like 20 minutes, we go, okay, that's it. Your punishment's over. You can leave the corner. She wouldn't leave.
Wouldn't leave.
Nope. She'd sit in the corner. And right then, she was like 2 or 3 years old. And right then I was like, oh my God, what have we created? Just adamant about like she was in charge. And you're like, you're not in charge.
Dark Lord. who is 6 and autistic, has gotten a power trip, and he's been putting everyone else in timeout. If he doesn't like what you're doing, he'll just put you in timeout. And like you, when Hannah sent you to your room, I go and I will take the timeout because it's the only break I get.
I did that joke the other night. I was like, which absolutely happened. I told Hannah, which I'm sure you've done. I was like, go to your room. And she goes, no, you go to your room. And in reality, I did not go to my room because I was so taken aback. I was like, wow, that's bold. But in the joke, I go, absolutely. And I went to my room for like 2 hours. And my wife came up and she's like, what are you doing up here? I go, Hannah sent me to my room. And I was like, you should come in here. It's actually way, way better in here. And lock the door so Hannah can't come in. But yeah.
I legitimately actually do go when I'm sent to timeout. And I don't know what I've done because they don't really speak English per se. But I know that he's mad about whatever it is. He also is doing this thing now in Minionese. He's always like, you make me so mad.
You got to film them so we can hear the Nell language that's happening.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're here, Jeff Lewis is on his way. He's dealing with children as well. I want to read this because narcolepsy had such a great, he goes, my youngest would do the same. I would tell her, it's okay to take some time to yourself until you feel ready to come join us. It was usually another 10 minutes. Yeah. That's so crazy. But, the thing with my wife and I, like she's, younger than me. And you reach a certain point where in life, like I remember my 40s, everything was aggro and I was just churning butter and trying to get stuff done. And you reach a certain, like I'm 60. And so you reach an age where you're like, man, each day is precious. And I don't want to fuck up any single day because every day means something. So, we had a blowout and Hannah had to be punished. And I was like, man, we were going to make fresh pasta and meatballs and we were going to do the whole thing and kind of wrecked the whole night. And I was really sad. I was sad. Like, it's so funny because nothing hurts my feelings anymore. Like I have no human emotion. Like I've been to so many auditions where people like, they're like, he's not good looking enough, or he's like, you just get so numb. Like I lost a job one time as a guy was like, ugh, we're not using a redhead after they'd already hired me for like a Frosted Flakes commercial. And then they go, you're working next Monday. And then they came back and said, we went to the president. Apparently he doesn't like redheads. And they fucking fired me.
That happens a lot. Like, I feel like if a casting director, like if you look like an X or something, they just boot you.
Part of me was like, I was like devastated, but I was also like, okay. And so you reach a certain age where you're like, I'm just over the drama, man. When I see people like starting to like go at it, I'm like, hey man, life's really short. Why are we doing this?
Did I ever tell you about the time I went skydiving?
No. Oh, I went skydiving too. I want to hear it. This is amazing. Let me hear it.
So I went, and your first jumps, you have to do tandem. And so I get there, and the guy looks like he has been through a war. And he's acting all sad. And I was like, hey, how are you? I'm really excited. I'm like, I really want to do this. And he goes, hey, how you doing? And I was like, I'm good. And he's like, yeah, things can be hard for me. My girlfriend left me a week ago. I don't really know that I have a whole lot to live for. And I'm like, what now? And he's like, yeah, she cheated on me. Actually, the guy Rick actually kind of looked like you. And honestly, I'd kill that son of a bitch if I could. And I'm like,
oh, he's messing with you.
He absolutely was messing with me. But at the time, I did not know that that's what was happening. And he was totally fucking with me. But
did you do tandem where you got connected to the other guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did tandem too.
Where'd you do your? I did mine in Hawaii.
Mine was here in Paris Valley, and this is insane to say, but I believe we were drinking before we went up. Like
what?
I went with the bar. Like everyone at the bar. Well, maybe we didn't drink before we went up.
But the guy you were strapped to was not drinking.
No, he wasn't drinking. We weren't. But it was when I was bartending at O'Brien's, and it was with all the Irish guys and the English, and we all went, like, we took a bus out there and we all went I went skydiving once and jumped out of a plane, and I'll never do it again. But and I talked to my kids about it, And my wife's always like, don't tell them that. They'll want to jump. I go, yeah. That's what's going to push them to jump out of a plane is me telling them that. Hey, I wanted to, Andrew, who's...
Yeah, I was
dude,
hoping we would address that.
I love that he's back, dude. Andrew, we love having you, man. Thank you for the comments. Are we ever going to address the mad misogyny from that dude 2 weeks ago? I have no idea who he's talking about.
I also don't know.
What did he say very specifically? But before we do that, let's introduce the man you know as not only Johnny Bingo, but Jeffy Lou. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Lewis has joining us.
I'm Jeffy Lou and Johnny Bingo. What's up? How are you? What's up? I'm sorry I'm late.
Dude, we were late. We didn't start till 8:10. He got pulled over because he had one headlight out, and I was trying to get a splinter out of Claire's hand, and we're having a little episode with Hannah acting up tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm here to solve everything.
Can you fix it?
I can fix that.
Jeff is very soothing to me. He is very soothing to me.
Despite my
Jeff, you need to start an ASMR channel.
I've been
by the way,
that.
before we go on, Andrew, try to give us some more clues as to who. And maybe Jeff remembers. Jeff, do you remember? He goes, "Are we ever going to address the mad misogyny from that dude 2 weeks ago?" Wait,
2 weeks ago.
And was it you? Maybe he's referring to himself. Andrew, were you misogynistic? Who was it? A comment or was it somebody on the show?
Andy was the last guest.
Andy Hendrickson seemed misogynistic. He's
that
like the biggest
feel right. And then the week before that was Charles
Is
Greaves.
he self-admitting it?
I don't know. Maybe Andy's talking about himself because I feel like Andrew's got some sass to him, doesn't he?
Oh, he's sassy beyond belief.
He is the sassiest.
Jeff, how are you?
I like cats. Do any of you have cats?
So,
Cats get 2,600.
I have 2 cats.
I had a cat tonight. It was we sautéed it, and it was.
Oh, that's wrong.
Too soon.
It's just too soon. Yes.
And by the way, I'd never saute it. I flame broil.
Yeah.
Oh, you fry cat or nothing,
dude. You're a fried cat. You'll never go back. That's what the phrase is.
I'm not a cat guy. I'm not even a dog guy. I'm barely a child person. Definitely not a wife guy. I'm kind of a solo. I'm a lone wolf. Lone Wolf McQuaid.
Oh, he answered, Kaler.
It was actually going on about how sensitive the world is, and you guys were praising him for being so raw, even though what he was saying was sexist against his own daughter.
That's what he's talking about. What's I can't remember the guy's name.
Charles?
Andy Hendrickson?
Charles, maybe?
Charles Greaves?
But what did he say that was sexist?
Well, Andy doesn't have kids, so it had to be Charles.
Oh, it had to be, yeah. I don't remember anything about that. You know what's funny? And this is a great example of. I was talking to my daughter, and she got a little burned on a text chain. She was texting one girl about somebody else, nothing really mean, but something that maybe she was kind of choosing one friend over another or something. And the girl screen grabbed it and sent it to the other girl, and she learned a valuable lesson. That I had told, you can tell an 11-year-old a million times, don't text anything you don't want the entire world to see.
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, don't worry about that. I mean, on a positive note, it wasn't something absolutely horrific or like a nude photo or something insane. But, it was something like, and so the moms were kind of lighting it up of like, can you believe? And I go, listen to me, all of you moms, if all the shit you said to each other, we wrote down and shared it with every other mom at the school, you'd all fucking burn in hell. So
if we could read your brains for a day,
yes,
it would be bad.
Or just I hear, and it's not just them, like dads do it too, but we just don't care. Like we say it to each other's faces.
Yeah,
and that's why, dude, I'm honest to a fault. Like, and Jeff, you know that. Jeff and I have been friends for 30 years, and I've probably been a total D-bag to him and been a smart ass, thinking I was funny. And, guys, it's water off our back, but moms do it. And it's like, all of a sudden, an 11-year-old kind of does it. And, it's the first time she's ever really texted in her life.
Yeah.
It's lit up for her a bit. And you're like, and they're all like giving her grief. I go, hey, dude, she's 11. And then I'm the guy for defend. They go, you just defend everything she does. I go, well, I guess I do in a way.
Yeah. And you're right.
We're talking about an old episode that we ran with Steve Trevino.
Steve Trevino. Oh my gosh, that was Oh, did you run it as a?
It was one of the weeks we all had something going on, so we did run a rerun of that. Yes.
So let me say this about Steve Trevino. He's an awesome cat, really like one of the nicest people ever. I don't remember him saying anything specifically, but if it was, my guess is it was embellished for comedic purposes because he's a juggernaut. I mean, he's one of the funniest guys around, and he's a really fantastic comic. I don't remember him saying anything very specific that was misogynistic, but I think he may have been joking in a way. But what do I know?
Let me. I was going to make this one point. Is I'm glad your daughter learned this lesson in a pretty harmless way. I have to say, it could have been a lot worse, and it could have been really bad. And it's good that she learned that now before she did something later on that was really bad.
She also was like the girl who shared it was like one of her best friends, and she was like, and I told her. Nobody was going to tell her. I go, here's how this broke. Here's why this happened. The other girl screen grabbed it and shared it. And I was like, and she was like, what? She was in tears. Like, why would she do that? And I was like, welcome to the world. Welcome to life. You think it's all gonna work out.
Yeah.
No, people listen, people do things where you're like, why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Yeah.
They do it every day. I'm like shocked by the irrationality of people doing like things that are so harmful to their own existence where you're like, why would you do that? And you're like, I still don't know how humans have survived this long. I really don't.
Human beings, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it's hard. Jeff and I were talking earlier about the fact that like, and I've talked with Jason about this extensively about like, I don't hurt myself anymore. Like if somebody hurts my feelings, I get it. I can move on and stuff. But when my child hurts, I can't sleep, man. I want to throw up. I feel sick to my stomach. When I see my daughter in pain, it's like this like weird extension of my nervous system that I'm like, so painful.
Yeah. It's for me is we're in a weird place because the twins are starting kindergarten and they're still mostly nonverbal, and so we are worried because kids are fucking mean. Yeah. And we are worried about Logan in particular because we're afraid he's going to get picked on terrible. And he's the sweetest, nicest kid. And Melissa is having a really hard time with like what's going to happen to him when we get there. So we're just trying to teach him all the tools we can to cope with this stuff. But with him being autistic and going out there in the world like that in a different way, it's weighing heavy on me.
Yeah. Jeff, you were going to say something?
No, I was going to say, I mean, I got to tell you, things have gotten I hope things have gotten better because when I was going to middle school kids were, I mean, we didn't have like a separation of kids that were autistic versus everybody was together. And there was so much, I mean, listen, I'm going to tell you, I mean, I may have even said or done some things. I don't know, man. I mean, I'm sorry, but we're kids and it's so tough. I mean, you jump with the crowd, like you making fun of an overweight kid. I mean,
I had a razor sharp tongue, but I also, I
never noticed.
I've written extensively about it as a ginger. And so I was tormented. Dude, I wrote that big thing. I'm in high school. I really thought about like, do I even want to be here? This is fucked up. This guy was chasing me for like a year, trying to kill me. It was fucked up. And so the one thing about my daughter is out of the whole school, there's 2 redheaded kids in the whole school. They're both my daughters. Like I don't think people understand the torment that redheads go through. Like it is, people go, whatever. It is because you look in a mirror and you don't look like anybody else, man. You don't look like anybody else. And it's bright. And she has a big wide face. And I mean, I keep telling her, I go, when you get older, you're going to be shockingly beautiful. And people are going to love you and other people are going to be repulsed by you. But this is your vehicle for the journey. I don't know how to, how do you get them through the stupid thing? It's so crazy, dude. It's so painful sometimes.
Yeah. And I feel like it's only going to get worse when their heart's broken when boys' time happens. I mean, that's going to be tough.
Dude. Oh my gosh. I can't even, we're not even there yet. And it's already a train wreck of epic proportions. Like, let me read that one by Andrew. On a different note, my 12-year-old middle school ginger kid is a walking 90s movie target of bullying. It's it's Andy from Pretty in Pink, right? Is that was it Andy? That's her name, right? Molly Ringwald.
Oh yeah. I
good.
forget her name.
I think she's Claire in 16 Candles, which is my
it's
daughter.
Claire in 16 Candles.
But she's Andy because all I can remember is Ducky calling her Andy.
Oh, Ducky, John Cryer. That's right.
John Cryer. But he has no idea and is the most confident person I've ever met. I have to stop myself watching Home every couple weeks. I have to stop myself watching Home every couple weeks. I'm not sure what that means, but yes, I get it a little bit about, yeah, it is crazy. It's, it's so funny. I talked to my other daughter about, if I could go back in time and just wear what I wanted to wear, but you can't help it. We're all lemmings to a degree. We try to fit in. It's this weird dichotomy of we want to fit in and yet we want to be unique.
Yeah.
And it's like this yin and yang of like every day trying to groove your way in, but also stand out. It's like, it's so painful to watch, man, because we've all gone through it and we kind of figured it out. And now I try to explain to my daughter, I go, listen, this is how this is going to play out. It's going to play out A, B, C. And she goes, bah, 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 bah. And of course it plays out A, B, C. And so now she's starting to trust me a little bit more about like, I go, listen, we just had I let her use her iPad for a little bit because she did a bunch of IXLs, some learning stuff. And so I said, here, don't text. I'm going to tell you right now, don't text anybody. Go radio silent.
Yeah.
The coolest kid is the one who doesn't respond. I'm trying to teach you not to respond. She's Claire in the Breakfast. She's Claire in the Breakfast Club. Is she not Claire in
Sweet 16 or 16?
What is she in 16 Candles?
Wait, Breakfast Club. What was her name in Breakfast Club? Claire?
Claire. She's definitely Claire. But what is her name in 16 Candles?
Hey,
with
Siri. What's her name? We gotta find out.
Jason, you had some crazy. Listen, I've had I just want to sit back. And
Samantha in 16
It's
Candles.
Samantha. Mm-hmm. Jason, you had some stuff going on this week, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a crazy week. So the twins, we kind of started on this, registered for kindergarten. We are gonna pull the trigger. They went to the registration where they did some of the testing, and the special needs teacher there said, the electronic devices that our kids use to talk. She said that our twins were the two most proficient people she had ever seen use those devices, and that Logan answered his name, his birthday, his address, who his parents were, his phone number, all on the device. And so I got a little teary-eyed in the car after, because I just we didn't think we were ever going to get to this place. And it was a real win for us this week with them on that front.
So unique, man. It's so funny because, people who don't, my kids are pains in the ass, but they're not autistic. And and we have this mindset of like, it's so painful and everything. And then I talk to you about the stuff you're going through, and it's so 4 steps more of like, it's just so arduous what you're going through. And so I totally empathize with them, man. It's great to see what's happening with them, that they're doing so well.
Yeah.
It was, Anthony is almost in full sentences. Like Anthony is so close to full sentences, but Logan said his name for the first time out loud. He had never used his own name, and he finally did say Logan, which he had never done before. And, Kayla just, 2 short years ago, we were told they would never speak at all.
Wow.
I remember having that conversation with you because I've known you that long. And it was heavy, dude. And I remember you and I, we were in tears talking about it. Cause you were, of course you were like, they're never going to talk. And I was like, oh, I think both of us were crying. And to see how far they've come and how many words now are part of the language is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
We're very blessed. We're very fortunate. The ABA therapy really was game changing for them.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, Jamie, you know this. I don't know if Jeff, we're going to Florida next week, to Orlando. I'm going to do some stand-up shows at Bonkers Comedy Club October or next 14th and 15th. I will be in Orlando at Bonkers Comedy Club right outside Universal Studios. So come and see me there. Shows at 8:30.
The whole family, or just you? You said the whole family?
Where the whole family's going.
Oh, great.
It is the twins' first time on a plane, which
Oh,
I'm worried we're going to have the youngest children ever to be on the no-fly list.
Are you going to Disneyland or Disney World, whatever?
We are doing Disney World. Holy shit,
Good.
Jeff. So
That's amazing.
last year we took them last year, but we drove last year. This year, because they're with their disability, waiting in line becomes a nightmarish hell. Yeah. And last year at a water park we went to, our one kid ran away. And like he got away from us, and the problem with him is he thinks he's going to get in trouble. So even if he hears you, he won't answer you. And if he's hiding, and so we lost him for a while. And so we wanted to. Disney has this thing called Disney Disability Access Services, which is basically they're not fast passes per se, but you wait the same amount of time the ride is. You just don't wait in the line. You come back when the amount of time has passed that you would have waited in that line, so that they're not in that line just waiting. And apparently it was being exploited by TikTokers. They were exploiting the disability services, and it became a real thing that Disney changed the policy. And so it was like an FBI interrogation, asking some of the questions felt to me like they weren't entirely on the like weren't legal to ask from a medical standpoint for HIPAA. But Logan had a meltdown while they were on the Zoom call. And he goes, "Is that the tantrum?" And I said, "That's the beginning of one of them." And he approved it right then and there. So we do have the disability services, but it was a real chore to get in this time.
Wow.
It's so funny that you say that, because there's so many amazing things set up for people who need it. And then invariably some jackass takes, it's like, first of all, you know how I feel about adults without children at Disneyland? Have we talked about this?
You and I talked extensively on the phone about it yesterday.
How do you feel about adult Disney people who don't have children? Jeff, how do you feel about them? When you go to Disneyland and you see the line is full of people and you're like, "Where are your kids?" And they're like,
it's a little weird.
Kids. Look, I have a Daffy Duck. Not Daffy Duck. He was not Disney. Yeah. I have Donald Duck tattoo. And you're like, "You're 42 years old." And he goes, "Disney every week. You don't have kids?" "We don't have any kids." I go,
I didn't realize there were people like that were going there for 30 years.
It is not only
clogging the park up.
Not only is it a thing, but there are some who have become influencers as Disney adults and made a TikTok career of it. Yeah. And that's what the disability services guy said was becoming the problem, is that it was those guys who were exploiting it.
We've blown out Frankie Muse is in trouble. I'm a Disney adult. But
there was a whole article about people that got kicked out of the Disney.
You also said just earlier that you are autistic. So we're going to give you a pass for Disney. You can go to Disney whenever you want and get that pass.
And look, there are things that like Epcot I can see going to, because like there's alcohol there that is pretty fantastic and delicious that I would like to enjoy.
The rides, man, those rides. Look, I go on the rides with the kids just to kind of go with them, but I'm like, I'm not. If I didn't have kids, I'm not driving to Anaheim to go on the teacup ride, dude. You don't have to have a kid to enter the park. No, you don't, but you should. All right, you know what? I'll be the bad guy here. I'll be the bad guy.
I'm wondering how this is going to go.
I got a real... Okay.
You might have started a war.
Okay, listen. The line for the Matterhorn shouldn't be 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
If you have to have like a 10-year-old stand and listen, yes, we're all going to pay money and get the front of line privileges, but sometimes still it's like a 2-hour wait to get in, and you have a 6-year-old. You're not a 32-year-old dude with a Mickey Mouse tattoo with 2 beers under your belt. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're not a kid, here's what we do. How about certain hours?
Or
You
days.
can go during the day. You can show up at like 4 in the afternoon. 3. I'll give you 3. But from like 9 a.m., you can't be a full adult without a kid at Disneyland. I'll stand by it. We'll fight. There's going to be a fight.
You're doubling down.
No, by the way, no, I don't like capitalism because
It gets in Jamie's way.
I here's my problem with capitalism too. It's like,
capitalism,
the business has to go up by a certain percentage, and then it's subsidized by the government anyway. And capitalism's got some serious flaws in it anyway. And all of a sudden, you get Amazon, and then they're a monopoly, and they don't. there needs to be regulations on capitalism as well.
Did you ever get in free, Jamie? Ellen Horn used to work at Dealer. No, I mean,
I got free. I got some free passes before.
She would get us in free all the time. So
yeah, I brought like 7 people in one time for free. Actually, recently I just went, and one of my friends worked in the park, and he hooked us up and got like 4 of us in for free. Yeah, because also, by the way, we just went to Universal Studios last weekend with. I took 6 kids for a birthday party, and then had 6 kids sleep over the house. We talked about that. Incredibly expensive. Yeah, for a normal person who has like. If you have 4 kids, say you have 4 kids, 2 parents, 6 people to go to Orlando to buy the tickets to get in. I mean, you're like just a day at Disney is what? 3,000-4,000. It's thousands of dollars. Yeah, that's insanity to sit in line for. Sometimes you go, how many rides? We got on like 5 rides over like 9 hours.
Yeah,
5 rides in 9 hours.
I don't know, but some people have on certain crazy busy days. Of course, people don't get on it. You sit there and it's like 2 hours, and then the ride's 67 seconds, and you're like, okay, Harry Potter.
Man, Frankie's pretty upset.
There's a lot of Frankie. Disney adults pay the bills more than families. I'm more worried about the adults that want to ban kids. Those are meant for all ages. We got to learn to coexist.
Oh, man,
listen, Frankie. We're going to coexist.
This might be the last stream he watches.
Frankie, come on, baby. Listen, there has to be. What about certain windows or certain days? Because the problem is the lines are. Frankie, do you agree the lines are too long? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, the lines. I mean,
Andrew agrees with me.
Do they cap it? Do they cap it ever these days?
Florida's park, they do cap. I don't know about California.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean. The lines are long. Everybody, you got to pay more to get in the front of the line too. So it's just
one more way that the rich win, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine, which I get. It's like the ski resorts in Montana that are private clubs.
Man.
They ski once a year, and because they have FU money of billions of dollars, they can afford to join a premier club in Montana to be the ski resort. And then they go once a year, and then the mountain's wide open because they threw $100,000 on it.
Oh, he responded.
Disneyland happens to be my hyper focus. LOL. I agree, lines are long, but it's because of paid lines. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I have not taken my kids at all.
You've never taken them to Disney at all?
No.
Ever?
Have you done Universal?
We did Universal, but again, I mean, that was free. And we what we did for a little while was we did Legoland.
How is Legoland?
It's pretty fun. I mean, my kids were into Legos, my son especially. And we used to hang out at a city called Cardiff by the sea. And right next to Cardiff is
Carlsbad,
thank you. So we used to go there all the time.
Yeah.
So we got a yearly pass, but Disney, I did it a few times, with friends for free, but I've never taken the kids. I
agree, Dan. Listen, how about if you charge that much money and people are going to pay thousands of dollars, cap it, man. How much money do you need?
Disney wants so much money.
I had a cast member last year tell me that the cost of the fireworks Disney makes back in 60 seconds when they open their gate that day.
Oh my God.
Sure. Dude, they're printing money.
Why do they keep on raising it then? Is it costing them more, or they just want to make? They're just greedy.
Well, listen, it's the same as the tariffs, man. It's here's what I'll tell you.
I'll go there.
I will go there, and I'm going to tell you this right now. Listen, capitalism, it's supply and demand. You charge what you can get. So if all of a sudden they tariff the Japanese cars and the Japanese cars are this much more money, the American car is not going to go, okay, well, we'll just stay at the price we're at. It's not capitalism. Capitalism means I can raise my price up to the same price the Japanese car.
Right.
You think because, oh, well, we're American, we're just going to keep our, fuck that. They're going to try to make, here's the deal.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this. Companies are trying to make as much. Do you know how money works? They really like money. They really like money.
And they're not a person; they're a company, so they don't really have any.
Dude, I went to Pretzel. I took my daughter. I'm trying to get her. She runs in Converse All Stars, Chuck E. Cheese. Which, by the way, I can't believe professional basketball players in the '60s plays in Converse All Stars. They're like for going to a punk concert.
I forgot about that. You're right.
They're not for playing sports in because there's no soul in them. There's no arch. How guys in the 60s didn't play for 2 games ago. My foot broke. I'm shocked at what just happened. So she has Chuck E. Cheese. So I take her to the store today to buy. I want to get her running shoes and go. This is what running shoes feel like. She's 10. She's 10. It's first pair of running shoes. And so I get her a pair of running shoes. But we're there and she goes. She wants Wetzel's pretzels. The little bag, a tiny little bag of Wetzel's pretzels, $11.
Yeah, those little
I go,
things. Yeah.
I go, what's the math? A minimum? What's minimum wage these days? Is it $15?
15 here.
It's 15. So your parents would have to work almost 1 hour for you to get one tiny bag of Wetzel pretzel cinnamon nuts. That's how I do math for when what something costs. I go, how many hours would a normal person have to work to buy this stupid $120 shirt? That's how my brain is.
I haven't worked in weeks and I'm buying kid stuff. I'm going in the wrong direction.
Me too. We all are. Everybody is. Listen,
in the audience can find Jamie Taylor in his yard yelling at kids to get off of it later today.
I'm not. I'm saying everything every parent is thinking. How many every morning when you wake up, do you get you're on Android. Do you do Apple at all for anything, Jason?
No.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you're on Apple, every single day I get a little email from Apple goes, hey, we just took $3 for a couple terabytes. Oh, we just took $7 for this one app. Jamie, don't worry about it. We just want to let you know we took $12 for this app. Jamie, it's not a big deal, but $19 for your Netflix. Jamie, not a big deal. It's $22 for Jamie. It's $4. It's $1.90. We added 1 more terabyte. Every day. Every day, it's like another bloodletting. Am I the only one who thinks this way? No,
it's happening here. I always think I have all this money in our account, and then I go in, and it has been seeped through by all of the little microtransactions that happen throughout the day.
Fucking narcolepsy, you make me laugh so hard. For those of you who don't know, we have 2 friends in a bunker right now who are solving every conspiracy you've ever thought of, Kel Buck and Johnny Bingo. And I think narcolepsy is talking about them because they are down there right now looping urine, solving puzzles, and we'll put some posts up for them.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
By the way, narcolepsy, I appreciate your comments on the YouTube page, dude. They make me laugh so hard.
Oh my god,
so hard.
I use Mint.
I don't know, dude. It's so crazy. It's like every day is another drama-filled.
I know.
By the time I lay down at the end of the night, I'm like, why did any of this happen? Like in the grand scheme of the world, we're doing pretty good. Pretty good.
I feel like the days are going. Like I wake up in the morning and my wife always says the same thing. Like, okay, we got to do it again. I mean, and you go to bed. It's all so fast too. I mean, you get up and you do so much, it just flies by. I swear, one day I just want to sit in my room and not do anything and see how long the day takes. Do you know what I mean? Like, just sit and
film it. We should just film you in your bed.
Forever. That'd take forever if you just sat in a dark room and didn't have any stimulus, nothing to do. You'd be bored. You would just, oh my God, the day would take so long.
I'd still like to give it a try.
I know. Oh my God. I mean, I took acid. It lasted 12 hours. It was a long time.
What happened? We this was just this morning, right?
Yeah, it just wore off, man. That was my
Did
emergency.
it just wear off?
Yeah, the
You look
12th
great.
hour, I had to come down.
I never took it. I never took acid.
Yeah, it's not my favorite. It was never my favorite. It's not.
How
I don't
was
do
it?
it anymore.
What'd you experience?
Just seeing hallucinations and
Like
sweating
what?
a lot and talking about weird stuff, and the wind feels really nice.
Wind. Wind is my friend. What did you see? What kind of hallucinations did you see?
Like wizards and dragons.
Wizards?
Yeah, but you'd see trees and you'd be like, or
By the way,
clouds, you'd be like, man, that's
so specific. What did you see?
I know.
Wizards, and not one. He did.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a wizard. He goes
Yeah.
wizards.
Wait, it wasn't like just Dumbledore. It was a
No.
group of wizards.
It
was-
is Gandalf-ish, Dan. It's like that
Yeah.
flowing robe and
Oh, this was Jeff's vision. What are you doing here? There was like three guys who just turned and were like, "What's happening?" And he's like,
oh my God.
"Wizards." He's like, "Yeah, we're wizards. We're working on some shit here. What's
Yeah,
happening?"
leave us alone. They really were wizards. What are you guys doing, man? We're doing spells. What
What were they doing?
Well, I mean,
Oh,
what did
man.
you think that they were going to be doing other than spells?
It looked like they were putting new asphalt on the street, but who knows, man?
Wait, so you saw wizards putting new asphalt in the street? Were they filling potholes or just
It might,
like?
it might have been maintenance guys. It might have been maintenance guys.
Do you remember very specifically what happened, or is it blurry?
You when I took acid?
Yeah.
I know. I mean, everything just looks. I mean, you see stuff in everything. I mean, you overthink it. You see stuff in everything. It's. I'm tripping right now, Dan. Yeah.
Listen.
I can't
What's
even.
and Dathan. Here, you know what? He brings it. He goes, "How does Jamie feel about adults who do acid at Disney?"
Oh man.
I'm actually okay with it.
Not only am I okay with it, mandatory.
Oh my God. That's
Don't even start with me. When you show up at Disney and the guy at the gate's like, "Do you have kids?" And he's like, "We don't have kids. We just came because we're Disney fans."
We're
And
tripping.
he's like, "Are you 42 years old?" "I am. I'm 42 years old, and I have a tattoo.
Oh my God.
I have a Frozen tattoo on my back." And the guy goes, "We're gonna need you to do some acid."
Yeah. Here's your tablet.
And
Can't spell Disneyland without
here's your
LSD.
ticket.
That's really
Here's
funny.
your ticket. I need you to lick it. Lick the ticket. Lick it.
Or ticket. I like
Oh
it.
my
I mean, it's a
God.
way to go for them.
Lick it, narcolepsy. That's the best
Oh my
joke of the
God.
night. Can't spell Disneyland without LSD. That's
That's really
absolutely
funny.
true.
That's really
Yeah.
funny.
I mean, look. I'm not saying we should start the new marketing campaign for Disney, but we've got a solid start.
Yeah.
I will tell you, the last time I went to Disneyland with the kids, I do remember standing in line, being absolutely miserable, thinking to myself, going, "Man, if the kids weren't here, I would be hammered right now and having a blast."
I would have a beer or two for sure.
Oh, I'd be making I would be having Mickey Hattons.
So,
Mickey's.
That's hilarious.
I used to go to Epcot, which has all the countries of the world around the lake, and there's different cocktails in each country. And I would start in Canada, and I would drink one alcoholic beverage. And the challenge for college kids who go there is to try and drink around the world. It's a thing.
Sure.
And I was removed from Mexico several times.
Removed. Wait, say it again.
I was asked to leave the Mexico pavilion.
I thought you meant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was with Jeff until I was like, no, he's in Epcot.
No, he's fine. Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. And by the way, pretty hard to get thrown out of Mexico. Like, of course, Luxembourg, sure, they heave people quickly. Mexico, they usually pretty lax with their.
I used to have a thing for Latin girls. It was not a great place for me to end. I probably should have started there.
Yeah.
By the way, I love that people go. Here's another thing: you go to Epcot Center to do a pub crawl. You can do it without going into Epcot Center. Just find some pubs down by the beach.
Yeah.
And go to those.
Yeah, but the marshmallow
stay home and
treats are way less
We used
awesome.
to. When
Is
I
there-
lived in Santa Monica and I was working at O'Brien's, we used to pub crawl all the time. And this is insane, but I was in the 90s and I had rollerblades. I would rollerblade pub crawl.
that sounds
And I
like
was
fun.
like,
That
I was
sounds
like
fantastic.
32 and I had no health insurance, no pads, no
Oh
helmet,
my god!
going down the pier.
Wait, you didn't work at O'Brien's at 32, did you?
I started working there probably around 30, 31, I think.
Oh, that's
Why
right.
were you there?
I forgot. Yeah,
I moved here
O'Brien-
at 30. I was a Navy lieutenant until I was like 30, and then I moved up here and started acting.
We
Yeah,
joined Acme. You were how? I'm trying to think. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, because I'm 5 years older than you, aren't I?
Are you really?
Yeah.
I thought you was 3.
Jamie's son is also on the spectrum, like me,
I
including
think he means me.
yes, Jason's.
Is there really a Mickey Hatton? Is that true? Are you
No,
making
but
that
it
up?
should be right. There should be a Mickey
I
hat.
really was like thinking about that the last 3 minutes. Like, is it real?
Well, you know that's a famous saying when they they slip you a Mickey.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I guess that was being roofied. They go, "What happened? We slipped him a Mickey, and then we robbed him in the alley."
Did that happen at O'Brien's? Did anybody ever do that?
You know, I never saw it, and it wasn't.
Happens.
But you know what's funny? Looking back, there were people who did it then, and I never. And I was pretty protective because I was, as the bartender, I was pretty protective of. I remember guys being skeeves and like they'd pinch some girl's butt and be like, I go, dude, what do you? And they'd always say the same thing. They love it. I go, they don't love it,
They
dude.
love it. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's classic. That's exactly what
Not,
that guy would
not
say.
my jam, man. And I just remember girls like looking up at the bartender going, save me.
Oh my
And you'd
God.
have to like protect her and go, yeah. Listen, it's hard. I mean, especially as a father of 2 daughters, it's hard being a woman. It really is.
Well, it's so funny when you're married. Like every now and then I do that.
Do the newsy. Who's doing the newsy accent? Was that me? Yeah.
It must have been you.
Hey, Scott. It's Christian Bale with the accent, right?
I can't do any of that.
Look at
Newsies,
it, but don't enjoy it.
I have not. My I'm gonna segue to something. My son is huge into Christopher Nolan now.
Oh, what's
he
his
has seen-
favorite?
He's seen 2 in a row. He saw Interstellar, and then and then last night he saw one of my favorites, Inception.
Oh, great movie.
And I'm excited for him to see that. There's another one where they go backwards in time a few seconds. I can't remember what? Tenet. Yes. Which
It doesn't hold up. It's
It's
convoluted.
not great, but it's in that same vein of science, which I think my son would like.
Memento.
Memento, very good. The
Insomniac is him as well. He's doing the Odyssey right now.
I've
They're
never
shooting-
seen
Heard
Insomniac.
that.
They're shooting the Odyssey. Homer's
Did he-
the Odyssey.
Insomniac. I'm gonna
The
watch-
Prestige. Oh my gosh, what a great call! I
Wait, he
forgot
did that. He did
That's
that.
well, dude. He's such a good filmmaker.
He did
Did
the one
you-
about the World War II one too.
I'm in The Dark Knight Rises.
That's right, dude. Did everyone know that he's in the Dark Knight Rises?
I am one of Bane's thugs. You can see
The
me when they blow
Prestige.
up.
I'm going to show him the Prestige. That's funny.
Did your son watch the 3 Batmans?
No, he hasn't
Mine?
watched those.
He hasn't watched. Those are the best. That might be his best 3.
What's the first one? Just called? Is it Batman?
Batman Begins.
Batman Begins. Okay.
And Liam Neeson is Ra's al Ghul.
It's a great movie.
Okay. I've got.
How Liam
I've
Neeson
never heard of it.
win Best Supporting Actor in that movie is beyond me.
I have to watch. I
So
do.
good.
You have to rewatch it. I love the movie, but I don't remember his performance per se.
Oh, watch it again. Anyone who's watching, Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul is
Vaguely recall it. Yeah, it's been a long time.
so. And by the way, Ra's al Ghul is the good guy. He knows that Gotham needs to be. He needs to burn the forest. He needs to cull the herd.
Yeah.
And Batman is the bad guy. He gets in his way.
Yeah.
The same way Thanos knows. Thanos is better. Thanos knows I got to get rid of half the population to save the world.
I got Thanos. I get it. Like people are gonna starve. Like you have to.
I couldn't agree more. He goes when he does the sword fighting on the ice. Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, has Liam Neeson been bad in anything? It's like Gene Hackman just passed, and I think the the real test of an actor is like, have you ever seen them say something? Jamie's going to do the snap at Disney. Half the people gone. Oh my
That's
gosh.
really funny. Nice.
Gene Hackman, never a false word.
Yeah.
Like, you can't name one performance where you're like,
yeah.
even if the movie's not great. I think the same thing about all those guys in that, but yeah.
Did they
Yeah,
find
he's
out what the
amazing.
cause was?
No,
Okay.
I'm still trying to figure.
Oh,
Jamie,
yeah, they haven't figured out yet,
Jamie's
right?
the bad guy of this show. Jamie advocating for eugenics. Jamie's going to do the snap at Disney.
I mean, you did say you were going to be the bad guy. I mean, you did blatantly say it.
I mean, but I'm telling you that the bad guy is in reality the good guy.
Yeah.
The Joker is in reality, he's kind of the good guy.
Yeah. Did Hackman ever do a part on SNL? It's funny. I don't think he did.
Oh, I don't think so. Did somebody ask him that?
Somebody asked us that, yeah.
Sometimes celebrities do like a scene.
You know what's funny? I would think people would say that he is arguably like one of the greatest dramatic actors of all time, but Young Frankenstein, where he's the dude with the cigar, so funny, and the Birdcage.
Yeah,
he's so funny in the Birdcage.
And
you know,
they
it's
also reminded me he was in.
When you're that good of an actor, it doesn't matter whether it's comedy or drama. You're so locked in that it just works within the scene. Gene Hackman's so good.
Royal Tenenbaums. I was just going to say that. Yeah.
I forget about that movie all the time.
So good. Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie in a really long time.
Yeah, I have to see that again. There's so many movies I have to see again.
It's so crazy. Jeff, are you streaming tonight?
I am. Yeah.
Like 2 minutes to wrap this beast up. We have. I have definitely. I was pretty amped. I've had it was a tense one around the house.
Sorry. Yeah.
But it's funny because listen. It's called the Parents Lounge for a reason. I feel so much better. I hope you guys do too. I hope all the people who watch. We have actually a ton of people watching.
Yeah, there were a lot of people.
Comments are so good. So really, we can't thank you guys enough. We're going to try more to go through YouTube. So if you can, try to find us on our YouTube page, I think, more than anything.
Yeah, it's youtube.com/The Parents Lounge Show. Head over there, subscribe.
And that's it. I think we have some live shows we'll talk about. We have some really great guests. Mo Mandel's coming on. Kira Sultanovich is coming on. Steve Lemmy's coming on.
I thought someone was coming tonight.
Is coming on as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Cool, man.
Yeah. And also do us a favor because Jeff and I are doing Cal Buck and Johnny Bingo Save the World. And so come find us on Last Week Ever.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys already have, and we really appreciate it. And it's been super fun. It's been super fun. And everyone's kind of pitching fucking scenarios that we need to investigate. Go fix the headlight. That's for Jason.
I got to do that tomorrow first thing.
Caspian, I'll come over in a second. I'll be there.
And you guys, let's leave on this one. And you gentlemen are always welcome to come watch Jeff crash his horse with us when he's playing Red Dead Redemption.
At some point, I am going to come play. I am going to do it. Also,
good night to Cole Cooper. I tuned in to see Jeff play a video game. This is, by the way, Jason and I are just video characters.
Yeah,
We're not.
I'm an NPC.
They're NPCs, yeah.
I'll have to reach out to Steve Trevino to return. Jeff doesn't go live till that. All right, it's 9 o'clock. Jamie Kaler, Jason Gowan, Jeff Lewis here in the Parents Lounge. Thank you guys.
Everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Stick around on Twitch. Go to Twitch and watch Jeff right now stream. What are you playing?
Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm Arthur. I'm a cowboy.
And listen, to be continued about adults going to Disneyland.
I'm going to have a full report when we return.
We're going to have a full report. I love you guys all so much. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We'll see you next week here on the